We're pretty sure you could recite Home Alone from memory.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
But this film is more than iconic lines and burnt burglars. It's a Christmas legend powered by real snow, wild stunts, John Williams magic, and a cast that reshaped family movies. So, with the holiday season here, let's see why we're still obsessed with this classic 35 years later. A Christmas Wish. Let's be honest, on paper, Home Alone has all the ingredients of a crime thriller. Break-ins, traps, and two very unlucky burglars. But sprinkle in some Christmas magic, and suddenly, you've got one of the funniest holiday classics ever made. Sure, Kevin McAllister's Home Alone because the adults in his life are festively distracted.
Kevin!
Still, the boy spends the whole movie convinced he's the star of some wild Christmas miracle. And honestly, that's exactly the energy kids love. Having an entire house to yourself? Total childhood fantasy. That carefree escapism is the beating heart of the movie. It hooks kids, but it also works on adults. Because who wouldn't enjoy a few days of peaceful solitude with zero meetings, chores, or loud relatives?
I made my family disappear.
Home Alone taps into that universal inner child. No matter your age or background, you instantly get Kevin, the panic, the fun, the chaos. And then there's Old Man Marley. Neighborhood legend says he's some terrifying murderer. But once Kevin actually talks to him, we find a gentle, lonely man full of regrets about drifting from his family.
No offense, but aren't you a little old to be afraid?
Macaulay Culkin and the rest of the cast may have grown up. But the movie's lessons, warmth, wonder, and a dash of Christmas miracle are still as timeless as ever. Ensemble cast. When Home Alone hit theaters, Macaulay Culkin wasn't the megastar we know today. He was just that kid from Uncle Buck, working for a $100,000 paycheck. But once the movie exploded into a blockbuster, Culkin instantly became a household name and the key ingredient for a sequel.
You guys give up, or you're thirsty for more?
Suddenly, the studio couldn't sneeze without checking whether Macaulay was available. His team used that leverage like pros. They negotiated a jaw-dropping $4.5 million salary for Home Alone 2, the biggest payday a child actor had ever received. But behind that success was a much darker side. Macaulay has spoken openly about his tough relationship with his father and manager, Kit, accusing him of being physically and mentally abusive. He said, "Do good or I'll hit you. He was a bad man. I can show you all my scars if I wanted to." This painful experience ended up reshaping how Hollywood treats child actors. Director Chris Columbus witnessed firsthand how dangerous sudden stardom can be for kids. I've seen it a couple of times with kids when you see someone who comes from a working-class family, and suddenly they're thrown into, the kid becomes the breadwinner for the family. While casting Harry Potter, Columbus realized he wasn't just choosing kids, he was choosing parents too. Suddenly, I realized that parents had to be a big part of it. I can't have an actor go home to a really sort of shaky environment for the sake of a film. It's not worth it. It was as important to cast the parents as it was to cast the kids. And it wasn't just Culkin who got a career boost. Joe Pesci, Daniel Stern, Catherine O'Hara, even little Kieran Culkin, everyone walked away a winner. Pesci and Stern as Harry and Marv, absolute comedy gold.
All the great ones leave their mark. We're the wet bandits.
Yes, they terrified us as kids, but they were also so funny you kind of forgot they were criminals. Catherine O'Hara deserves her own standing ovation. As Kate McAllister, the world's most frantic mother, she powered through airports like a woman possessed.
No way! This is Christmas! The season of perpetual hope!
And then there's John Candy. Honestly, no one else on earth could have made Gus Polinski, the polka king of the Midwest, work.
Polka, 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 polka.
Hughes literally brought him in as a personal favor. Even though he had plenty of screen time, the late John Candy filmed all his Home Alone scenes in a single 23-hour marathon day. And somehow, he still gave us one of the movie's most unforgettable cameos. The score. Music can make or break a movie. And if John Williams is the one composing, yeah, you're basically guaranteed cinematic magic. That's exactly what happened with Home Alone. Williams didn't just write a soundtrack, he created a full-on festive atmosphere.
I think I had more chuckles and more fun doing it than a great many other films that I've done.
Sure, the film uses classic holiday songs, but it's his original score, all those bells, chimes, and cozy melodies, that gives the movie its unmistakable Christmas vibe. Compared to other holiday films, Home Alone's music isn't just iconic, it's practically its own character. There's the big stuff like Carol of the Bells and Deck the Halls, but the soundtrack also works quietly in the background to help tell the story. When the McAllisters are sprinting through the airport, the movie drops Run, Run, Rudolph.
Out of all the reindeers, you know you're the mastermind.
When Kevin starts longing for his family, you hear, Please Come Home for Christmas. These songs don't just remind you it's the holidays, they guide the emotional beats. They turn the chaos, comedy, and heart of the story into a full Christmas experience. Attention to details. Movie magic is great until the weather decides to mess with you. Need rain but get sunshine? Cue the giant sprinkler. Hollywood can cheat a lot of things, but some moments demand the real deal. For Home Alone, one of those moments was Kevin waking up on Christmas morning to a perfect snowy wonderland as his family finally returns. The team knew they couldn't fake that level of magic with a snow machine. It had to be real snow or nothing. But how do you schedule real snow when nature refuses to follow the call sheet? Easy. You stay on standby like a weather-obsessed ninja. Since they were shooting in Chicago in winter 1990, the crew kept their eyes glued to the forecast. If a snowstorm was coming, they'd drop everything and rush to film the final scene. Luckily, they got their Christmas miracle early. They filmed the snowfall on day 2. The same do-it-for-real attitude carried over into the stunts. Marv and Harry's stunt doubles basically turned themselves into human crash test dummies. No CGI, no fancy rigs, just pure old-school slapstick pain. Troy Brown, Joe Pesci's stunt double, put it perfectly.
It wasn't a big budget movie, so there wasn't a lot of special effects rigs and wires and stuff, so it was all basic, hitting the ground hard to make it funny, and so we did everything for real. We didn't ever, use rubber steps or put rubber down on the sidewalks. We just actually did it.
And the cast member who walked away with an actual battle scar? Macaulay Culkin. During the scene where Harry threatens to bite Kevin's fingers, Pesci got a little too into character and left Culkin with a permanent mark.
I don't think he did it on purpose. He bit me. And I think he just meant to put his teeth on my finger, but he bit down a little harder than he thought.
That's what we call method acting. Whether it was the rise of kid heroes, the rebirth of holiday movies, or that perfect mix of comedy and heart, Home Alone set a whole new standard for family films. The 90s became a golden era for the genre, and Kevin McAllister led the charge. So tell us, what makes you rewatch Home Alone every holiday season? Drop your thoughts below, and as always, thanks for watching.